Hi, it's been a while. So, I've been a little bit busy with life and everything, so I haven't been uploading a ton of videos, but I have sort of been saving this one because this is pretty cool. And I noticed that I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Like, thank you. I guess you like seeing this stuff, so here's some more. I pride myself in having never asked for any subs or likes in a video. Just do it if you want to, so much appreciated. Anyway, to celebrate, this is an in-box Sony SL-5200 Betamax VCR. There's lots of other videos out there about this one. This was the first hi-fi VCR, not just Betamax, first hi-fi VCR period. Sony invented hi-fi on videotape. VHS kind of copied it, changed it a little bit, but the first hi-fi VCR was this bad boy right here. Other than hi-fi, it's pretty much the same as the SL-5000. Might actually be similar to a 5100, I think, because the 5000 has the wired remote. I believe this has a wireless remote, and the layout's a bit different on the front. I think it's the 5100 that it looks very similar to. But yeah, let's see what's inside. Okay. Probably should mount my camera here somewhere. What do we got first? Alright, started opening this, realized it's got the original owner's name on these, so I've blanked it out. These are some repair receipts from the video refit shop. So this one, noise bars, cut across the screen, hi-fi cuts in and out, customer refused estimate for repair, repairs to tape transport mechanism, cassette load mechanism, and alignment are required. Servo circuit. I wonder if this has the capacitor issue. When was this? 91. Yeah, could be the capacitor issue. What else we got? Doot doot. Intermittently won't accept or reject tape. Repaired loading mechanism. That could have just been belts. When was that? Trying to peel back so I don't show the name. 1990. Okay, so it seems like 1991 is when this was shelved. Let's put that to the side. What else we got? Wrap. Oh yeah. Looks like we got all the manuals and stuff. We can go through that. And the remote, I think. 1 second. Yeah, this is the remote in a reasonably good shape, actually. So this has got this little slider. If you want to hit record, you press both these buttons at the same time, and you slide it up for the regular controls. It's a pretty simple remote. You have play, fast forward, rewind, stop, and beta scan, TV, VTR for Sony's, and a pause button. Battery compartment's nice and clean. It's in very good shape. And here she is unpacked. I couldn't really unbox it with the camera on. It was just too difficult. And my apologies for the lighting in here. It really sucks right now. But yeah, so same mechanical push button tuner as the SL-5000. Here's your timer and clock settings, your record. Again, all the recordings on the left, playings on the right, but you have your record level controls to do with the hi-fi audio monitor. So this is playback, so you can select right to both channels, left to both channels, or stereo. Left is left, right is right. You can set your record level to auto, which I believe just implements a limiter, sets it and moves it a little bit depending on how quiet it is. Turn beta hi-fi on and off. There's the indicator. Program select, TV VTR, your play controls. It has ×2, so that's different from the 5000. Yeah, I think this is like the 5100, as I said. Pause, your tape counter, eject control, VU meters. Down below, auxiliary audio. So what I think this does, we'll have to test this out, is this allows you to not plug something into the video in, but plug something into the audio in, and then you press this switch and it will give you the picture from the tuner and the audio from the line in. And I've mentioned this before, it's for something called simulcast. This VCR predates stereo broadcast on broadcast TV. It's called MTS stereo. So the only way to record stereo was off of something like FM radio or a cassette player or like a stereo source. I believe some cable boxes may have supported stereo in like a proprietary way. Like I think MTV in the US in the early days, they had something going over FM. So you'd like hook your cable TV up to your FM tuner and get the stereo sound and feed it in through your TV. I don't know. Anyway, that's what this is for. So I think auxiliary audio is just doing that. Because normally if you just plug something into video, it switches over to these three. But if you don't plug something into video, you can switch over to just these with that switch. Let's power it on. Is that a hum? Yeah, I hear a hum. Like I can hear the transformer hum. Okay, looks like it's working. Timer record was keeping it on, that's why. Tuner, clock, VU meters, and if I press this, it'll switch over. I can adjust. This is just snow from a detuned station. Stereo. I guess that indicator is just for this position on the switch here. Record level auto. Alright, I'm just going to throw a tape in here and see what happens. Alright, I don't know how many of these tapes are stereo, my test tapes. Sounds like the loading belts are okay. Can you hear the video head spin up? Oh, look at that! That sounds like those bad capacitors.
Really? Yeah.
So I already did a video on my SL-5000 for this exact problem with these capacitors. I do have a rebranded SL-5000, which is like a stripped down version, Zenith's 8950, 85, I don't know, I'll show 8510, and it's a top loading version of this design, and that one already had the capacitors replaced. So I think that's all I need to do here. Cool. I mean, fast forward is fast forwarding, just the video goes all wonky.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's follow.
Let's do ×2. Yeah, ×2 is working. And this is a... How does this indicate what I'm playing? It's usually like an indicator for what speed you're playing back, if it's beta 1 or beta 2. Is there a switch on here? Record mode. 2, 3, and beta 1 playback. Ooh, listen to the video head motor. So the servo for the video drum is not locking in, and the servo for the capstan's not locking in, again, because those cheap blue Sanyo capacitors. Okay, let's open it up. Oh yeah, let's see if the remote works.
You can begin by signing up. Hey.
I'll just mute that. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna pop this open. Oh, let's look at the tuner here. Man, this is an absolutely clean shape here. Yeah, okay, open up time. All right, top cover off, 2 screws on either side, done easy. This cover, because I want to look underneath, has 5 screws and there's 3 different lengths. This one black here is the longest and it's plastic threading. This one is a medium length, as is this one here, and they are metal screws. And then the shortest ones are here and on this far side down there, so that I remember next time. Wow, there is a lot more going on in here than its monaural counterpart. Let's flip this up. It just kind of unhooks like that. And there you go. Looks the same as the other ones. I think there's probably a belt down in there. Can't even tell. Can't even... Oh, yeah, there it is. You can sort of see it right there. Sorry for the shaky hand. Anyway, pop this back on because that's all good. I want to get to the circuit boards on the bottom. So here I was all going like, man, I got myself a minty machine. It's in good shape. But whoever must have repaired this 30 years ago, like, what is this? You got a broken clip here. Focus on the clip. Broken clip here. And they like tried to glue it or something. I don't know what this is, but okay. And then down here you have a clip that is, you know, not broken. And then another broken clip right there. So, yeah, past repairs have been surprisingly amateur for a professional shop. Here's the board. Here's those little blue capacitors. They look purple on my camera, which is my phone, because it sucks and the lighting in here sucks. But yeah, these all need to go. So I am going to, I think when I ordered capacitors for the SL-5000, I ordered 2 sets. So I should be good. Let me see what I got and pop them in. Replacement caps. All right, for example, we got a 0.1 here. So what I can do is I'll just hold this and desolder. And then we just pop this guy out like so. And that's a 1 at 16. Now, unfortunately, the one I'm replacing it with is a 1 at 50, which is substantially higher, so we can just hope that the ESR is not catastrophically higher. Pop that in, give a little bit of a bend. It's nice because you have the little tangs that hold it on there. And then just, I don't know if this is in shot, little solder. This is much harder with the camera in the way. And there we go. Pop that. And pop that. Looks good. And the next one. I won't show all of them because that's just boring, but it's replacing one. And you can always double check your polarity. So on here, negative's facing away, but there's a little positive. Actually, let me bring the camera in. So you can see the negative marking on the new capacitor, and you can see, focus, there's a positive marking there. If I look on the back side, you can see the positives kind of half hidden a little bit by the solder mask, but it's there. Okay, here's something I'm noticing. See these two nasty messes here? So, for example, this is a capacitor I just replaced. That, you'd think, oh, that's me. No, this mess is not me. That's me. This, if I flip it down, you will see, oh, come on. Oh, it's hooked there as well. So look at that. Shitty blue. So the person diagnosing this, I guess because the customer said, I don't want this fixed, popped in some new caps, then put the old ones back in when the customer said no. I don't know. But yeah, someone's definitely been messing around with stuff in here. Interesting.
Everyone and his brother could see you, or right up over that Saddleback Ridge there.
So it's already doing way better. I haven't done any adjustments. This is just replaced the bad blue Sanyo capacitors. But you can see that the servos still aren't locking in. So now I'm going to follow the same guide that I found for the last one. I'll link that somewhere there, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you again shortly. All right, I got some adjustments done for the drum speed and for beta 3. So I'm testing out some beta 3 tapes here. It seems to lock in nicely. Oh boy, nope, 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 nope. We're turning that down because that's going to get hit. Oh, this music video is just ridiculous. I love this. All right, all right. Anyway, now to find a beta 2 tape and something with hi-fi. I thought a tape that said music videos on it would have been in hi-fi. Been triangulating these controls. I had to adjust the sub-tracking. So I've got a pre-recorded tape in here in beta 2. And the hi-fi is working and it seems to be locking in nicely. Let me hit play here. So it locks in quite well. Pause, everything's working. Fast forward. Locks in nice and quickly. I'm not going to play that for too long for obvious reasons, but the hi-fi is kicking in, although one channel is louder than the other, so that's going to be the next step. But I've been swapping between a beta 2 and a beta 3 tape to get the picture locked in as best as possible. So now I'm going to swap in a beta 3 tape, and I had to replace the belt. So the capstan belt, I was getting some warbliness, and the capstan belt looks like this. Can you see a problem with that? So the one I have in there might be a little on the tight side. It feels okay, but long term I'm going to order a new one because you don't really want to have a belt too tight. It pulls on whatever it's connected to and can cause uneven wear on the bearings, and or it can cause similar problems to a loose belt where you lose speed or have speed instability because it's essentially dragging, it's causing drag on everything by being too tight. So it seems to be working, but I'm going to order the correct one. I'm going to order all the correct belts because they're all kind of crappy. It's bringing me to this. Let's see if it actually ejects. I usually have to help it eject. Nope. So yeah, I've been having to help it, which, you know, is pretty common for these ones. To give this longevity, the caps, the belts, it's best to just do all of them. There's a lot that those loading belts have to really turn. They can stick easy. And that was probably the issue on that invoice that came with this. Belts and caps. It's always belts and caps. Got a beta 3 tape in. Hit play. Is that play? Yes, that's play. Now, it's still got a bit of a warbly sound in the audio. I don't know much of that I can play, but it sounds like it's locking in, the speed's locking in, but it sounds again like probably the belt I put in here is crap. You can listen to the warbliness here. The warbliness is almost like talking into a fan, like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. So it's probably the belt. Said this thing needs new belts throughout, but for now I'm gonna go back and forth between the tapes because I'm just dialing in this last control here, because if you go just a hair over to one side, then beta 2 doesn't lock in, or a hair to the other side, beta 3 doesn't lock in. And with these fidgety loading mechanism, it's a real pain in the butt. So we'll get that done, and then I can at least close up the bottom here. And I got beta 1 dialed in with my one and only beta tape, which is a Dolly Parton. I guess this was played in a store to advertise her music. Of course, you're going to get big bars because it's beta 1. Funny, even on beta 1, the speed sounds warbly. Normally on the faster speeds you don't notice the speed fluctuation as much, but honestly, everything that's not hi-fi that I put in this kind of sounds like ass. So at first, I was like, oh, there's a problem with the hi-fi. Well, there kind of is. I can't turn it off. But other than that, let's go to stereo. Let's see how it plays on a different tape. Problem I was having on the ET tape was that I believe the left channel was quieter. Oh, is it off now? Oh no, it goes back on.
Star Trek. The next generation is beaming aboard the airplanes. All around you, the excitement, the drama of Gene Roddenberry's original Space Odyssey. Welcome to the Enterprise. With all new adventures from the 24th century.
That's so loud it's distorted. So ET was so quiet that it was barely registering, and this is loud. Now again, this could be the nature of these old tapes. I found that even on other beta machines I have, the hi-fi on old early hi-fi movies kind of sounds bad because your source isn't exactly that great, right? Audio hasn't been remastered and everything. There's a bit, usually a bit of hum. It kind of doesn't sound like what I remember experiencing in the 90s. So, I mean, that makes sense. Let's fast forward past this preview, see if maybe that's just...
This is nothing like any vessel I've seen before.
And an all-new crew. Starfleet veteran Captain Picard. Commander Riker. Executive Officer.
Oh, Riker doesn't have his beard. He's got to have his beard. Alright, we're right into the movie, huh? Blah, 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 blah. Is there music? Well, that sounds fine. And it's definitely in stereo. There's a bit of a hum, and it only exists when there's audio. So the hum kind of rides on the audio, and in the same fashion that on a VHS machine, if your hi-fi is out of alignment or your hi-fi heads aren't getting a strong enough signal, every time you have audio it kind of crackles, but if there's silence, there's no noise, get a bit of hum. Now, there is a very good chance that something in here is out, and I am not knowledgeable enough to attack that. So, yeah, okay. And honestly, setting this damn free run, every tape is slightly different, and the adjustment is like a thousandth of an inch. So this tape takes a while to lock in when you hit play. But it does lock in, and ET locked in right away. I got all the Beta 3 tapes locking in right away, but the next Beta 3 tape might not. So, I mean, I could just put in every single tape and be adjusting it. The bottom line is these things are real difficult to work on. But it works. It works. So, list of issues so far. I need to buy all new belts, par for the course. Maybe I'll tweak some of the adjustments a little bit more to get that to lock in better. Hi-Fi is working. This switch is not working. I remember seeing a 12 volt vids video about the little transistor that turns Hi-Fi on and off, and I think his was broken in a way that Hi-Fi didn't work. I'll have to look back on his video. I mean, really what you need is the schematic and the service manual. That's the only way to really properly fix that, but at least it's broken in a way that I have good audio. See, now in my mind, times 2 should either shut the audio off or at least shut the hi-fi off. And in normal operation, it probably does. I suspect this is just You know, as long as there's a hi-fi signal, it stays on. And the mono audio is still warbly. Hoping that's the belt. Oh, look, this person put channels in. So they got 2. Those are all normal. They actually put in 17 and 20. So what would have 17 and 20 been locally when this was used? So the invoice is like 1990. So how many of you out there have ever seen one of these? This is the channel guide for my area, which is Winnipeg. And we actually had 2 different cable companies servicing Winnipeg as a whole. One was Videon, and the other was called Greater Winnipeg Cablevision. And we have a river that goes right down the center of the city, and the divide was Videon was on the west side of the river, and the Greater Winnipeg Cablevision was on the east side of the river. And some cable guides, TV guides, would just show E and W for east and west. But anyway, I think this person was on the Greater Winnipeg Cablevision, which became Shaw. I think Shaw bought them out in like 92. I remember them being Shaw. Because there's a channel 20 and a channel 17. There's no channel 20 on Videon that I can find. So they programmed in A&E and Much Music. Makes perfect sense. You got a hi-fi VCR, record your stuff, and A&E, because you're cultured, you bought a Betamax. I mean, the only other station you really need other than A&E is PBS. I think 3 is PBS, right? Nope. Where is my PBS? CBS. PBS, here we go. Channel 13 is channel 3. Yeah, okay. I see. That's how they do it. So the number at the top, this is all coming back to me. The number at the top is the broadcast number. So for example, 56 here is WTVS from Detroit. Now, obviously, it's not going to be 56 in Winnipeg. So you can go down and you can see it's 16 on both cable suppliers. But if you want to go to other cities or towns around the province, you can see it's 17.3. Selkirk doesn't get it. Fuck you, Selkirk. Well, I think that's about as far as I'm going to go on this for now. Notice the VFD is a little bit more blue and looks vastly different from the VFD on the other similar models, like the 5000 and whatnot. Depending on when I release this with the 1000 sub thing, blah, 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 I might not have new belts in here. If it takes longer, maybe I'll have the belts in. Who knows? Might as well run down the rest of the stuff on the front here. You can set your turn on and turn off time. So first, let's set the time. You gotta press in the little button. So press clock. I think I have to hold that button. Do I have to hold it? Yes, I do have to hold it. That's stupid. You didn't get to see the action. Whatever. Then you can press and hold turn on. So you set the date. Oh, wow! That's so much brighter. So this is just dim from years of use. This VFD is just used up. Wow. Wow. That's insane. Okay, anyway, this has a 3-day, 1-program timer thing. So you set the turn on and you say, okay, the date based on right now, because you're setting it right now, it's 6/19 today. So I'm going to record, you've got today, 3-day, 2-day. Well, that's really kind of clunky. So second day is tomorrow, and third day is third day, but it goes backwards, which is weird. So set it for tomorrow at 4:20. It's got 10 minutes and 1 minute. And then turn off. Oh yeah, so you can't set the date on the turn off because it's tied to the turn on. At 4:21. There we go. And then I think you just hit timer record. Why is it still on with timer record? That's set. Is it because I don't have a tape that I can record on in here? Yep, that was exactly it. I had Star Trek 4 in there, which is write protected. So I popped the tape out and I just popped a tape that doesn't have the write protect removed or whatever. And it immediately shut off and went into timer standby. When you're in timer standby, this does nothing. And that's it. Like, that's how simple these old ones were for setting a recording. Now, granted, you could do one recording. You could only do it a few days from when you set it. As you got into on-screen programming, you could set the actual date. You could do repeating programs and stuff like that. This was a very, very simple timer. Tracking. It's got a light down here. Tracking, your record mode. So this supports beta 2 and beta 3 for recording, and you can set it to beta 1 for playback, and it just sets the servo circuit to something completely different. I think that's why beta 1 only has one adjustment for the free run, but these share the same free run adjustments because it's in the same mode. Camera pause, auxiliary audio, already talked about that, your line in. At this point, Sony had finally decided to use RCA jacks instead of that 3.5mm, basically a headphone jack like this one for their audio in and out, video in, and a headphone jack because this is hi-fi. It's hi-fi, man. It's beta hi-fi. I don't know how much of this is coming off in the camera, but this transformer's got quite the hum. It's very noticeable. Anyway, this is the back. You have MPX out. So I believe this is related to the tuner, where it'll send the audio that can be decoded so you can decode the F or the... Yeah, I guess it would be the same as FM stereo, wouldn't it? No, it's MTS stereo, which is different. So this would send it out to a future decoder that in this case would decode the MTS stereo signal. And then you could send it back into the line in the front. That's messy. All right. Standard antenna connectors. UHF in out. VHF in out. RF modulator, which works on the VHF. And you have these switches that are hidden. Oh, no, that's actually molded on there. Oh, you know what? I think on the SL-5000, the beta 1 playback switch, and then there was a dropout compensator switch on the back here. So those are both eliminated on this model. Interesting. 3B. So I was just pulling out all the documentation in the manual, and I found in here the original invoice. This was bought August 20th, 1983 for 1,100 Canadian dollars. And after tax, that was $11.66. They included with it, I guess, was a membership to Video World to be able to rent movies at Video World. Haha. Wow, it was paid by check. Neat. So here's I guess a spec sheet. New beta hi-fi recording system, front loading, beta scan, 2x play with sound. Okay, so that was working properly. The wireless RMT313 remote, as shown here by our lovely hand model. 3-day, 1-event programmable timer. Yeah, okay, we just looked at that. Stereo ready circuitry, so that's that MPX out. Feather touch controls. So gone are the days of the piano key controls. Man, look at that. It's just a tank, isn't it? It's a beast. High fidelity Betamax video cassette recorder for a new experience in sight and sound. I'm just going to pan over these here. New beta hi-fi audio features. Yeah, this would have been pretty state-of-the-art for the time, 1983. But it's interesting, like watching the videos that Technology Connections did, kind of talking about the beta VHS war. So Sony's focus was, okay, a new sound feature, yeah, okay. Beta scan, yeah. All the ×2 playback, all this stuff, but you still only had a 1 event 3-day timer. And VHS machines had had more, like you could get a 4 event timer since the 70s. Yeah, the remote's nice, but I mean, how many people cared about the remote? It doesn't change channel, it's really only for playback. And like, I remember growing up, our VCR didn't have a remote that we used. You just walked up, you hit play, and you sat back and you watched the movie. But things like, recording off TV, record time on the tape, stuff like that, that's where this really suffered. Just a neat look. I don't know if I want to go through this whole manual. Oh, how to connect your antenna. You always have to know how to connect your antenna. Don't do that. Or do that. Don't cover it. Help! Avoid dust. Avoid sun. Avoid heat. Do not expose to rain. Oh, look at that TV. The speaker system. It's a nice TV for the time. This is pretty good information for people nowadays trying to figure out how to connect their old retro stuff. I see posts all the time on Reddit and all over. People are asking, how do I connect this old thing? And it's always the same response. And yeah, the information was all in here. So if you have cable TV, you have your converter going to the VCR to the TV. Or if you don't want to record off cable, you have this going to the converter going to the TV. How to set the clock, how to set the channels. And yes, this did come with the little interchangeable numbers. As you can see, 17 and 20 have been used, but I could always change them back to the 2 asterisks if I wanted to go back. What else we got here? How to record TV programs. It's all pretty straightforward stuff, but these were new. For a lot of people, this was probably their first VCR ever, the first time using any equipment anywhere like this. So these manuals are pretty useful. I mean, this is brand new tech. And then now in 2021, you give like a old senior a smartphone and you say, there's no manual, just figure it out, go on YouTube, they'll tell you what to do, don't worry about it. And then 3 months later there's an update that moves everything and changes how it operates. And just get with the times, man. I'm just complaining like an old fogey. More layout. And finally, the specs. The important stuff. So this beta hi-fi off, yeah, you have 10 kilohertz, 7 kilohertz, that makes sense. Beta hi-fi on 20 to 20,000. Yeah, it doesn't even mention beta 1. Yeah, hi-fi just had amazing audio specs. Accessories supplied. Ooh, I didn't get the tape. External antenna connector, didn't get that, didn't get that, didn't get that. I didn't get any of that cool stuff. Got ripped off. Finally, if anyone wants to troubleshoot a VCR from 38 years ago, there you go. Well, I was just cleaning up and I found a bag of parts that I assume were replaced with that first loading problem. Let's grab these out. So there's a belt. I assume that is one of the loading belts. Or it actually could be the belt for the idler on the backside. This is the loading idler, which actually, honestly, that doesn't feel that bad. And then here is the capstan. Now that does look pretty shiny. I'm never good at judging if these are any good. So, yeah, just thought I'd interject that there has been some service done on this in the past. Anyway, that was just a quick look at the Sony SL-5200 that I had not new in box and not mint in box, but complete in box. CIB. That's what that means, right? Yeah, cool. And, you know, thank you for subscribing. I don't understand why, but hey, I'm not judging. You do you. I will hope to have more videos soon when I kind of find some more time to do stuff. I've got a shitload of things I want to do videos on. Just busy summer, busy life. And anyway, cheers.